and welcome back to the Future of Beauty podcast. I'm your host, Liz Howard, and today I have one of the most amazing beauty moguls. I'm sure you know her. I know her. I'm fangirling a little bit. I got Gigi Brows with me.
Hey,
how you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. This is, like I said, it's a little bit of a fangirl moment for me because before I knew that my sister knew you, me and my friends, we used to buy your product.
No way.
I'm not kidding. So when I told my friends that I had you on the podcast, they were like, I wish I could show you the messages. They're just like, what? Oh my God. Like, it's a fangirl moment.
I love
it's a fangirl moment. So yes. So of course, if you don't know who Gigi Brows is, you should. On social media, it is all eyes on Gigi, right? But she is an educator. She's a mentor. She's a brow artiste, and everything in between. Podcast host. I mean, you got like 8 jobs.
Girl, tell me about it. And the hardest one is being a mama.
Yes, and a mama to a 4-year-old little boy. What's his name?
Byron. His little nickname is BJ.
BJ.
Yeah, because him and my husband have the same name. So if we're in the house, if I say Byron, both of them are like,
oh yeah, like look at.
All right, so it's like BJ.
Yeah.
Okay, me.
Yeah, I'm sure that is probably the most daunting task that you have as a 4-year-old.
Yes.
Everything else feels like light work.
Exactly.
So I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where did you get your start in the beauty industry?
So when I first started in the beauty industry, I was a makeup artist. I came from a family who sold Mary Kay. My grandmother, my mother, all my aunts. So that was my introduction to makeup. I would go to the parties with my mom, and they would do like the skincare, and they would do the foundations and stuff. So I was just like playing around with it. I wasn't really thinking like it was something I could do, but that was my introduction to like makeup.
Yeah. Okay. So from makeup to brows, like how did you decide, like, you know what, I really want to focus on this brow work? Where did that kind of click for you?
So my dream was to work on movies. That was I'm a high achiever, so I want to, whatever the highest level is, I want to try to get to that level. So it's like I started off at Mac, you know, which was really big back in the day to work for Mac. That was like a huge accomplishment. It's like if you worked for Mac, no one questioned like, your skill set, right?
Yeah.
Then I worked on music videos. Then I worked on reality shows. Yeah, so I worked on Love and Hip Hop, the Braxton's Family Values, and it was a reality show called Cutting It in the A.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You did like everything.
I know, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I was just like, I want to work on movies, right? And I know the entertainment industry look like it's blended, but everything is separated, right? So if you do music videos, people just work on music videos. If you work in the reality sector, then you're just with the reality people. Movie people, they over here.
Right.
And you have to know people. You can't submit a resume to work on set. It's like who you know.
It's definitely
so it was very hard because a lot of people didn't want to hire people who come from reality shows, because if you look at the makeup, it's very heavy, very bold, where a movie is supposed to look like you don't have any makeup on. So they didn't really like hiring people who came from reality shows. So I finally got an opportunity to work with my girlfriend on a movie, and I was so excited. It's still on my page. I was like, set life, and I didn't even know I was getting paid, honey. I was just happy to be there to learn. She was like, girl, fill out this paperwork. You want to get paid? I'm like, I'm getting paid. Hey, you know, because that's how bad I wanted it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, I worked on the movies, and I was just like, wait, we here for like 14 hours? We here all day? It wasn't what I thought it was, you know? And then I'm like, oh, we're going to be in the trailer. It's like, girl, we outside. We wherever. It'd be like 30 degrees. We in Stone Mountain. I got a ski mask on. I'm like, oh, this is
that movie like
not what I thought. And you making money.
Yeah.
But I would just be thinking, dang, what else could I do? Or I might do somebody's makeup in the morning and never touch them again for like 5 or 6 hours. So I would just be thinking like, dang, what else could I be doing like with my time? And I knew like I wanted to eventually get married, eventually have kids. And I'm like, this wouldn't be the lifestyle,
right?
Because I wouldn't really have time to spend with my family, right? So I knew I wanted to do something else, but I didn't know what that would be. And so I was still freelance in between doing movies, because you're not guaranteed the next job. It's, again, who you know. right?
Exactly.
So I was still freelance for MAC. I was still freelance for like Dolce & Gabbana. And my girlfriend became the account executive for Anastasia.
Wow.
That's how I got into doing brows.
Yeah. That was like the brow. Like,
exactly.
They were known for like the pomade and the gel. Like, yeah, especially
so
like
that was my
2016
intro. Yeah, I was just like, okay, girl, they paying $28 an hour. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, T, right?
Tea.
And then she said, but wait, you're licensed. I'm a licensed master cosmetologist. She said, so you can do brows, because a lot of people she hired, they could only do the makeup aspect on you and sell you the products, but they couldn't wax.
Right.
So that's how I got into like the waxing and stuff. But when they train the people here in Atlanta, it's just how the person was doing it, not the way that Anastasia and her brow bars would do it.
Okay.
So I asked the account executive if I could go to LA, would they train me? And she said yes. So that's how I got trained by her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah. So I got trained by her and Kelly Baker Brows, which is another huge brow artist.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So that changed it for me. So it's like when I came back to Atlanta and I did that first brow, I was like, oh yeah.
This is it.
It's a wrap.
This is it.
It's a wrap, honey. Y'all about to know who I am.
Okay. And do. Wow, that is so cool. Like you like have like a whole
I do.
A whole life. Like I literally had no idea that you did all of that. Yeah. That is incredible.
But you know what I love about that is we off camera we was talking about pivoting.
Yeah.
Right?
We were.
And I love that you could actually pivot to where people don't even remember what you did prior to what you're doing.
Hello.
That's something to say, right?
It is.
So you really can.
You really can.
Yeah.
Pivoting is so important. I think especially when working in the beauty industry. Because we were talking about, like, you never know, like, nothing's really safe.
No.
And, like, if you're just trying to stay in something because you think it's, like, this is the safe thing to do, or this is just, like, I guess, like, maybe not your way out, but, like, this is just my ticket, right?
Right.
You never really know when that might go away. So I feel like always keeping something new in your wheelhouse, like how you're doing of like, okay, let me aim for this, let me aim for that, let me master this and do the brows and do the make, like always just keeping something fresh.
Yeah.
I think that is so important.
And it keeps it fun.
It does.
You know, so for me, I feel like you can go through a period where you feel stagnant. Like you're just doing the same thing and it's the same and you're just not motivated, right? So that's where the creativity comes in. Like, okay, what can I do? Maybe take another class, you know, maybe go to a workshop just to get back motivated and inspired, you know.
Right.
Maybe go speak to some students at an esthetician school or a cosmetology school, but do something to get back motivated, because sometimes you just feel like you're not growing because you feel like you're doing the same thing. But it's really like you're doing what you love, but you just go through the motion sometimes. Yeah. It's like, am I growing in this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So with your experience, you've worked with some of the, I mean, like brow legends, obviously. And you yourself have now become a brow legend. I don't know if you see yourself like that, but I'm like, she's definitely up there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And from your experience, and maybe just from your opinion, when you see, you know, the, you know, brow artists come up and just try to build their business and stuff like that.
Let me tell you something. When I look at the new brow artists, I get so excited because the girls are young and they are thumping out that content and it just looks so good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I definitely am like, yes, girl, like you are killing it. You know, I love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I do brows as well, like in my suite and stuff. And I look at your content all the time as just like inspiration. Because I'm like, I just have to make sure I make it really, really clean like this.
Listen.
But I think it is important to have people that you look up to.
You have,
right?
You know, I mean, I feel like if I'm stagnant, right, and I'm just chilling and I'm just, you know, going through TikTok or just flicking on Instagram and I see some dope content, it makes me be like, let me shoot some. You know what I mean? Like, let me get back in the lab. It's like motivating.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people, like, y'all gotta stop hating. Y'all gotta stop being haters. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their time. Everybody has their time in life. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like sometimes some of the OGs, they don't like to show love to the people up under them. But you have to remember, you were them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, so it's going to continue to be like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then as you elevate, you're doing different things now too. Right. So more so I was, doing the brows and I came out with my product line and, I have the book Behind the Beauty where I'm helping people with the business side of their business. And I have my podcast Behind the Beauty. So I'm also elevating in another direction. So it's just like a part of like your evolution.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah. I think to what you said, like, you can either go the route of appreciation and inspiration or feel like, oh, they're competition to me. I ain't gonna support them. I'm gonna hate on them.
Yes.
Those two perspectives, I feel like we see that a lot. Like, and I don't like seeing the negative side.
Well, but guess what? In any business, you're gonna get, it comes with the territory. You're going to get 50% love and 50% hate.
So true.
Regardless. So you just got to be your authentic self because you're never going to please everybody. Everybody not going to like you, honey. Everybody ain't like Jesus.
Well,
so you can't worry about it.
It's so true. Like, and I feel like that is a big reason. Like, I have a couple of mentees myself, and like I'll talk to them like, oh, people aren't sharing my posts or they're not supporting me or my friends are, and I'm like, well, keep going.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, there's gonna be times where like I've posted something and maybe 10 people saw it. And I'm like, well.
But okay, so let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
You'll have people who say, oh, 10 people liked it, 100 people liked it. If 10 people were in this room, that's a lot of people.
It is. Being like, yes.
Think about it. If 10 people was in this room with us right now, that's a lot of people.
Right.
And I try to tell people because people's like, oh, I want a bigger following. It's like, you have a following. If you have 1,000 followers, if you have 2,000 followers.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know people who are not big on social media, but their business, they have a lot of clients.
We've started to minimize what those numbers really mean, I think, because that's a big thing that I'm teaching as well is like, you don't need to have 1 million followers to be successful.
You don't.
Because, I mean, that could be 1 million people spread out across the world, right? Like, that doesn't necessarily mean those 1 million people booking with you. But
what are they looking at you for? Because people can have a lot of followers, but can you sell a product?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's like, what are they looking at you for? Because I feel like the followers that I have, I'm engaged with them. So we kind of have a relationship where I'm not just thumping out content and not interacting with them and not doing different things to where I know, they know me as a person, where I share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
So I try to give them like who I am all around and not just show like the glitz and the glam of the industry.
That is so important because I think people like me who are like in their 20s and just trying to like make a name for themselves and to come up in the beauty industry, like we see the girls that we look up to or the artists that we look up to, and all they have is the glitz and the glam, and all they have is the Rolls Royces and the penthouses, and like they going to Dubai and it's like, oh, I want to do that, but we don't see their story of how they got there. We don't see like the nights where they're crying and just trying to, is my business gonna make it through this season? Like, we don't see that sort of stuff.
Right.
I think for me, living in Atlanta and just being around people and seeing like the real too, I'm like, okay, social media isn't as like, the blinders are off. The blinders are off because I know I'm like, you're just posting your good moments right now.
Right.
You're just,
but it's not, and it's just not easy.
It's not.
And it's okay because guess what? You don't want it to be easy.
Okay, anything worth having does not come easy.
Right. So I don't look at things as good and bad.
Yeah.
It's just stuff that happens.
It's life.
Right? Because if you think about bad situations that you've been in, it's made you the person that you are today. So was it really bad? It's made me a smarter businesswoman. So was it bad? Because if I wouldn't have went through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
So I don't look at something as bad versus good. It's just something that happens.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Such an important mindset to have, I think. Failure is definitely something that is just part of success.
Fail your way to the top.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
So, okay. We talked a lot about everything. But I know you mentioned your book, and I know your podcast has the same name.
Yes.
Behind the Beauty.
Yes.
What inspired you to kind of like create this brand?
Okay, so it was not intentional.
Okay.
Things just be happening. So this is my second book.
Oh, okay.
I wrote a book 11 years ago called Really Are You Serious? and it was about dating in Atlanta.
Really?
It chronicles, girl. Yes, it is still on Amazon.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy it.
And
I'm gonna buy the
name
book.
on there was C Green, because my first name is Caroline Green.
Yes.
And that was before I started working on movies, because I was like, I'm done with doing makeup. I'm just an author now.
I love it.
And I was popping the trunk masterpiece style, girl, after the clubs, and people was buying my books.
Book?
Yeah, I
love
sold
it.
over 600 books.
Like physical copies,
Yes.
like out the trunk.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
That's
And
crazy.
anybody who was around in Atlanta, y'all know that y'all might still got that book. I was popping the trunk after the club.
That original copy has to be worth so much. I'm not gonna lie, like that has to be worth something. Just the experience of it.
I'm not a new author.
Okay.
It's just this one is about some of my testimonies and how to present yourself as a businesswoman, because you have a business.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you don't want to just be doing services, but you need to know, like, you got to write off stuff. You got to do your taxes. You need to have an accountant. You need to have a lawyer. You need to have paperwork. You need to understand business.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we do not discuss in the industry. We're talking about producing content, aesthetics, the products that you use. Well, the business side is just as important, because if you're not keeping up with the money, you're not keeping up with your expenses, you can be out of business.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I feel like we look at beauty as almost like a side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like take it seriously, like
Right.
you're saying, like as a real business, as a real career.
Right.
So when people approach it in like that side hustle kind of way, they kind of messing themselves up, because I think like the tax rule is like if you make like over 600 or something now, like you gotta pay taxes on that.
Right.
So a lot of people, they gonna get messed up. The IRS might be come looking for you, and you just like, well, I just do lashes on the side.
They will garnish their wages.
They will.
They
They
gonna
will.
get their money
Yes.
regardless. IRS gonna get their money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They do not care.
And two, this is gonna sound bad, but just not only the beauty industry, but I feel like most entrepreneurs in general don't know how much money they make. Because if you're taking multiple forms of payment, if you're taking PayPal, you're taking Zelle, you're taking Cash App, you're using your bank, you're using all these different apps, how do you know how much money you're making if it's going in all those different directions?
You're amazing at your craft, but are you making the money you deserve? Imagine turning your beauty skills into a brand that brings in $5 to $10K a month without burning out or second guessing yourself. My name is Liz Howard, a beauty professional turned brand strategist, and I've helped lash artists, brow artists, makeup artists, nail techs, estheticians, you name it, people just like you go from struggling to fully booked and finally able to create consistent income doing what they love. In my free live training, where beauty meets business, I'll show you exactly how to build a beauty brand that stands out online, attract clients who pay your worth, and turn your skills into a system that brings in $5 to $10K a month consistently. So whether you're just starting out or ready to scale, this live training will finally give you the roadmap to show you what you've been missing. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start growing, click below to secure your spot. This is where beauty meets business and where your next level begins. That's so true. I handle my business completely through Square.
That's good. So you know, like all of this is here, right?
It can get so, like you said, like so convoluted.
Yeah,
like,
or you're getting cash here. You're not depositing that cash in the bank. So how do you know how much, how do you know how much money you actually make?
And I think considering too, like, your expenses.
Yeah.
Like your overhead, all that stuff.
People don't even know their overhead.
No.
Think about it, because you have to calculate your rent at the salon or your lease at the salon, your products, the Wi-Fi, the water, all the bills.
All of it.
And once you make the money, it's what you have left is what you make.
Right. And then not even considering marketing. Like, okay, like, are you going to run an ad on Google or Facebook ads? Like, that goes into your overhead as well.
Exactly.
So many things that, like,
or going to a conference.
Yes.
Or continuing education, taking somebody else's class.
Exactly.
So I just feel like that is the direction that I'm going in. And I'm not going to do like a mentorship program, but I am going to start like hosting, what do I want to call it? So it's going to be based off of my book, Behind the Beauty, right? But I'm going to start doing these webinars where I talk about like each chapter. We'll go through each chapter of my book.
That's awesome. That's so smart. I love it.
Yeah. So it's not too overwhelming that I'm trying to talk about everything. Yeah. So it's like, if that's something of your interest, you know, then you could tap in on this Sunday at 7 p.m. And we're going to talk about pay yourself
like a breakdown.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's so important. The business side is so important.
It is imperative. No, for real. Having your business side, it will make or break you, because if you're not forecasting and paying attention to the money that you're making, how can you set yourself up for retirement? What different insurances that you need to have? Say, for example, somebody broke into your salon or the building burned down. Do you have insurance that's going to cover that? If one of your clients got burned, does your insurance cover that to where you're not personally going to be feeling that? Right? So it is different things. And I learned through trial and error, because I wasn't around other entrepreneurs to get the information.
Yeah, that's so real.
Yeah.
That is so real. So in your book, is there something maybe like not a sneak peek because it's already out. But like,
you want the juicy one or like a little wet?
Like a juicy tidbit from the book, like a real
So it's a chapter. It's called Trademark.
Okay.
And I use Missy Elliott's quotes, copywritten, so don't copy me. Basically, I went through a situation where some girls were copying my brand, and I had to sue them.
Oh no.
Yeah. Copying my logo, copying my website, marketing to my people. And those are things that, I mean, you don't expect to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I said, like, my name is trademarked. My products, you know, they're covered by insurance. I have so many things set up, and thank God that I did.
Yeah.
Because I was able to do my thing with that.
That is crazy.
But what if I wouldn't have had a trademark? Then it would have been no repercussions for them.
Yeah, somebody would have basically had your brand hostage.
Exactly.
And like maybe would have tried to extort you to try to get it back.
Okay, let's be for real.
Yeah.
I'm originally from St. Louis.
Okay.
We moved here when I was 12. So I grew up in the hood in St. Louis, and then we moved here, and it was suburban life.
Okay.
Stone Mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Very suburban.
So it was different, where it was like Black progressive people and educated people, and people had businesses, and that's what opened me up to say I could have this one day, right? Because I didn't see that in St. Louis. People worked for General Motors, Ford. They were a nurse. They worked at the post office. That was a good job. I wasn't around Black progressive people who were driving a Mercedes or a Lexus or whatever kind of vehicles, and educated, graduated from, you know, college and stuff like that. So for me, it opened me up like, oh, okay, I can have more. I want more. So when that situation first happened, I felt like the little girl in me was like, I want to beat them up.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, I would have definitely been like, girl, I need that.
Right, because that was my first baby.
Yeah.
Like, I built my brand from the bottom, brick by brick by brick by myself, me and God.
I know that's personal.
Right?
You stealing from me.
You're like, you can't take what I worked hard for and run with it.
No.
And my husband was just like, listen, you are a businesswoman. You can't be on World Star. You can't be fighting nobody. That doesn't look professional. So you're going to have to handle it like a business person handle it, and get the courts involved and get your lawyers involved. Make them come to where you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
He was so right.
Right?
He was so right.
But that's your first thing. It's just like fight or flight. You're just upset. You're angry. You're like, the audacity.
Like, why? I can't even wrap my head around doing that to somebody. So the fact that people do that, mind-boggling to me. Yeah. Like, you just see like, oh, okay, well, she ain't trademark. Well, I'm going to take that because she making money and I feel like I could. Like, that is so low down and grimy.
People are so...
grimy.
They are.
They grimy.
They are. I'm telling you, like, I could give you like a million stories.
Oh my goodness.
And that's how I know God is real, because I don't wear it.
Yeah.
I don't wear any of the things that I've went through or experienced. You know what I'm saying? Because I've still been a great person.
Yeah.
God has still looked out for me and continues to bless me. So I just look at it like lessons learned. I trusted the wrong people.
Yeah.
I trusted the wrong people.
Yeah.
And that's what that was.
That's wild, because that would have definitely turned me to a villain. maybe not now, but if I was,
that's like, what?
That's horrible.
And then they don't have any remorse. Like and then to see them, they're just like,
they looking for the next victim. They like, okay, well that didn't work out. Let me go find the next girl.
You cannot flourish. Let me tell you something. You cannot grow and flourish being a moocher, a user, or trying to come up off someone. It's not gonna last long.
No.
You know, so anybody that has tried to like betray me or take something from me or badmouth me out of envy or jealousy, I'm still doing better than them.
Yeah, literally. So from that was really juicy. That was like, but trademarking is really important. Actually, I'm in like my own little, like, not trademark battle, but someone does have like my brand name, and they trademarked like everything under it. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah, and it's different categories.
Yes. And this happened like in the beginning of this year. I was like, oh no.
Man.
But no, I'm actually using the Biz Lawyer.
Okay,
yes.
I like that.
Yes, and she is.
I met her at a conference.
She's awesome, and her team, they've been helping me. They're like, look, it may not be a huge deal because they're doing different things, but they're honest. Yeah. Like, it might get rejected. Yeah. So let's try to figure something out.
Yeah, and if you got to add something to your name or whatever, it's fine. I've had so many different names before I went with Gigi Brows. Yeah, I was Green Imaging. I was all eyes on Gigi. That's my Instagram. So I went through so many names. So I tell people I don't get too locked into a name, because I mean that can change. It's just as long as I know you, right. I'ma still support you. So I tell people don't get too locked into the name, because the name can always change.
That's actually really good to hear. That's very inspiring. Because I feel like I get really attached.
No, but that's you, because you're taking it more personally, but we don't really care.
Yeah, like the audience, your clients,
became the symbol, so we still like Prince.
That's so true. That's so true. We was definitely rolling with Snoop Dogg when he was Snoop Lion for that.
Or Jay-Z, Sean Carter, or whatever he want to be. Like, we're gonna still roll with it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, like, what do you want your impact for your book to be, like, especially on, like, the younger beauty generation, we'll call it?
I want my impact on the book to be like, dang, this really helped me, because if I would have had this information prior to starting my business, I wouldn't have went through half of the things I went through, because I would have already been able to look out for it. Now, I'm not saying that when you buy the book, you're not going to have trials and tribulations, because that's life, right? But if I would have known like how to keep up with my P&L, what is a P&L? How to hire an accountant properly, how to hire a lawyer properly, because let's be for real, in every industry you have scammers. So I'm not just telling you to pick any accountant, because you can get an accountant and they could be doing your taxes wrong, right? You can get a lawyer and they might not be that good. So still do your research with everybody first. Yeah. But you need to work with professional people who know more than you. Yeah. Right? And then I talk about my different experiences of me not having different insurances. Like, even when I was pregnant and I was on maternity leave for 5 months, my husband, he took care of everything. But if I would have had disability insurance, I would have still got paid a portion of my salary while I was gone. Well, I didn't learn it until after the fact. Right. But that's something that you don't have any children or anything right now. That's something that you could do.
I'm taking notes.
I'm
taking notes for sure.
And it's not only for like if you had a kid, but God forbid you got in a car accident and you got sick, it will cover you. Yeah. But those are things, again, I didn't know, but that's something that I could share with you that you can do,
Why do you think that the OG beauty, pros don't talk about things like this more often?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna say this. I feel like a lot of OGs feel like the game is to be sold and not told. Okay. Right? And for me, yes, I understand that, if you're giving certain information, you want to be paid for it, right? My book is $19.99. Okay, it's $20.
Okay,
that's a meal. All right,
I will buy it
but you
today.
are getting the game of like $10,000 worth of game for $20.
Yeah.
Right? And then some people are insecure. Not everybody, but some people, they don't want you to know.
Yeah.
Right? And then some people have that mentality. Like when I was coming up as a makeup artist, I worked in a barbershop in LA, and I met this one lady, and I was just saying, hey, because we all work together. And they were like, oh yeah, you know, like she does makeup too. And I'm just introducing myself to everybody. And I was like, hey, I'm Gigi. She was like, don't ask me nothing about no makeup. And I was like, excuse me? And she was like, yeah, don't ask me nothing about no makeup. They told me you do makeup. And I said, I was just speaking to you and introducing myself to you because we're going to be working together, right? But basically, she had the mentality that nobody helped me, nobody told me anything, so don't expect that from me. Where I wasn't expecting anything from her, I was just speaking to her.
Yeah.
Right? So some people have that where you going to have to get it out the mud like I did. Yeah. Or they're insecure where they feel like if you did have the information, you might be better than them. Where I want people to be better than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to do great because I would be a part of that.
Yeah.
Right?
My sister...
I don't look at it as like a negative thing.
My sister has always said to me, like, can you call yourself a boss if you can't create other bosses?
Well, to me, that's success. I don't look at success as the value of money that you make.
Yeah.
It's how many people do you motivate and inspire and make them see the light in themselves. Yeah. That's success.
And I feel like
money comes and goes.
It sure do.
You know? So it's like, what have you, when you go, what can people say about you and your business and you and your brand?
That's such a greater impact.
They're not going to say, I'm a money monster.
No. But to say that, like, she has taught me so many things, like, to be able to carry on, like, the things that you teach, and then they could teach those things, and it's like, that's building a legacy. That's creating your impact.
I have relationships with my former students and just people who've purchased from me. It's just not like a one and done situation. So I still have some of my students reach out, ask me questions, or if I have an event, they might come and help me with an event. Yeah. So I'm not one of those people where you take my class and then you email me or contact me and I never talk to you again.
I see that too much, y'all. I see that too much. If you teach, I'm gonna talk to the camera, because if you teach courses and you ignore people after, like, the course is over, don't teach courses. I think that is so crazy to me. When people want to become a student, they want to learn, they want to be better, and I see too many people teach these courses and it's just a money grab for them. Yeah. I hate it. Yeah. Because I'm like, when I used to manage the salon, all these girls would come in and would be so poorly taught and would just have, like, the complete, like, the wrong mentality with things. And I'm just like, who taught you how to do this? Right. Like I could still reach out to my 2 lash instructors to this day, and like, they will be able to refresh me, give me any advice, whatever. And it's been years. Yeah. I'm like, I cannot stand, like, I see a million courses. And I think that's why when people see courses,
they feel like they're scamming.
It's a scam. Yeah.
But again, the discernment, going back to what we talked about earlier, all kind of people are scammy in any profession. So true. You just have to do your due diligence to see if the person that you want to work with is really legit. Yeah. Because it's definitely legit people out here. Yeah. It's just, who are you choosing? Are you going for this person for the lifestyle? Are you going for this person for the transparency? What are you trying to do? Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah, I completely understand. And it's a $1 billion industry. And I really think there is room for everybody to succeed. Yeah. So I think
it's 7 million people in Atlanta.
That's a lot of people.
I can't service 10,000 people. Yeah. Think about it. Me as one person, I cannot service 10,000. So that lets you know how many more people are needed to do what I'm doing.
Exactly.
So I look at myself as competition. I don't look at other people. I'm not looking at you trying to keep up what you're doing, what you got going on. I do understand it's people like that, but I'm going against my own numbers. I'm going against my old content. Yeah. Right? I'm looking at I'm my worst critic. Nobody can hate on me more than me.
Okay. I'm the same way.
Nobody hate on me more than me. If you think you my biggest hater, you ain't. All right? You know, for real. Because I'm the hardest on myself. Yeah. I'm a perfectionist. I I have very high expectations for myself.
Yeah.
So no one can critique me like myself.
Yeah.
I'm very hard on myself.
Yeah.
But you can see, and if you follow me, that like she put a lot into her stuff because I really think about what I'm doing. I really think about it. I'm an overthinker, over analytic type of person. So I really put time into what I'm doing, whether it's a photo shoot, whether it's a video. It's not just something that I'm just putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the midst of just doing all of those things and just trying to like keep it fresh, how do you stay consistent with your brand and, you know, just not even just taking clients, but like staying consistent with your podcast, selling your book, all that stuff? Like what is like what's your motivation with just like keeping it through?
I feel like my motivation is just continue to grow because I feel like I'm going to always have goals that I want to cross off.
Yeah.
And I'm never like a content person, if that makes any sense. So, you know how some people be like, I'm straight, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like, I want more because I'm around people who have more.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I want that too. You know, like, why would I just stop right here when it's like the sky is the limit?
Yeah, it's like I achieved that. So
so now, now I want to get this.
Right.
And now I want to do that. So that's where, and I love that because I love to be challenged.
Yeah.
I don't want to be average, and I'm not going to be average.
Yeah.
I don't work this hard to be average. You understand? Yeah. I'm an overachiever. I've always wanted more. So what I had to learn throughout life is with family and friends, that's a chapter in my book, having boundaries with family and friends, that I lost a lot of family members and friends because my goals made them feel insecure because in their mind, they don't see that as something that is obtainable. Mm. So, you know, me saying, hey, I'm going to start my own business. It's like, who will come to you?
Right.
Right? And I'm like, people going to come to me.
Right.
Because I never had low self-esteem.
Right.
Right? So it's like, now once you really get the business, it's like, oh, okay. Then people start feeling envious. People start feeling jealous. People ask to borrow money and different things come into play.
Yeah.
And you have to have boundaries with these people.
Yeah.
And when you set up boundaries like, hey, you know, I'll give you $200 this time, but, you know, you're going to have to figure it out. You know, people like,
yeah.
What you mean?
That is so important.
Right? And it's like, because I'm working for this. I don't owe you anything, right?
Yeah. How did you like navigate that, especially in like your early years? Like, I mean, I'm sure people are probably like, girl, can you do my brows for free? Like,
so I'll tell you what happened. When I started teaching group classes, I don't see you young, but people were not all this teaching that you're seeing. This was not a thing,
right?
I reached out to 2 brow artists here in Atlanta, and they were like, oh, yeah, we don't teach because that's like creating your own competition.
Right.
And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to LA, I told you, Anastasia and Kelly Baker Brow. And then people would say, hey, do you do a class? And then so I started doing classes, and you know, you're going to post like the deposit and the amount of money that you make.
Right.
So what my family and friends are doing, they're counting the people and counting the money like, hey, can I borrow, you know, $500? And it's like, no. And they're like, well, you just did a class. And it's like, yeah, but I got expenses, right?
Yeah.
So you're counting, and that goes back to like the P&L and everything that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, I could have made $10,000 from that class, but I had to rent the venue. I had to decorate it. I had to get a caterer. I had to get the videographer. I had to get the photographer. I had to purchase the products.
Yeah, I was going to say supplies and all of that stuff.
I didn't make $10,000.
No, yeah.
Right?
But to be pocket watching and to be counting somebody else's money, like, what? I see why you had to create some boundaries, because that would have made me hot.
So many people, and it's just like, you never want to help people to the detriment of yourself. And that's why I feel like the boundaries between your friends and family are so important.
Yeah.
Because you can look at a lot of successful people. T-Pain talked about his friends were like, buy up the block, right? So he bought like 2 streets worth of houses. And he was just like, but the houses, they weren't valued at anything.
Yeah.
So that's money that he lost listening to people who didn't really know what they were talking about.
Right.
But it sounded really good to own these properties, but the properties weren't worth nothing. So that's just hundreds of thousands of dollars that he lost.
Yeah.
Right? And that he was just like, dang, like, why was I listening to them anyway? You know what I'm saying? It's just so, it's important that the people around you, you guys are in alignment.
Yeah.
When people say be equally yoked, like you and your husband, it's the same thing to me in a friendship.
Yeah.
You got to be aligned with the people that you're with. So it's just like, I'm constantly evolving. I'm more in my Bible. I'm more at just trying to live like my best life.
Yeah.
And if you are out all the time and just partying, we're not in alignment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's your birthday or something like that, but for me just to be hanging out just because, baby, I got a whole business.
I got so much to do.
Business empire. I got a 4-year-old and a husband. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to be around people who they have good energy, good vibes. Like when we hang out, we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
We're not gossiping. We are not just competing with each other. It's just a good kiki.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And I just learned when I got to walk away from people, whether you're my family or my friend, because I'm not going to let you drain me or make me start questioning myself. Because when you keep those people around, you can be like, okay, girl, I'm working on this, working on that. And they like, really, Liz? Like, you thinking about that? And you be like, oh, girl, should I do that? Right? Because that's your friend or that's your family. So now they in your head where it could work for you, but that's just how they think about it.
Yeah, that hits home because I've had a couple conversations like that recently, especially with friends who I thought were friends, and just being like, "Oh no, I'm really like I want to do more. Like I don't want to just be in my suite. Like I want to like expand my brand." And they're just being like I've had mentors tell me like you need to take 2 years off and just focus on you, focus on your business. Like don't do all the going out, don't do all the extra stuff.
And that's the best thing they could that's what changed my life.
Yeah.
That is what changed my life because I definitely, girl, ATL back in the day.
I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing.
I was there. I was outside a little bit. Okay,
selling the books.
Yeah, but I was selling my books too. But baby, I was outside.
Yeah.
And when I moved to California and went through all those things, my aunt was diagnosed with cancer. Her husband was a truck driver, so I had to move back here. When I tell y'all, that was the best thing that happened to me. Rest in peace to my aunt. I loved her down. But she was always one of those people like, go for your dreams. Go for whatever. You can have like, it's no limits to what you can have. You know what I'm saying? So that just really like motivated me. So when I came back to Atlanta, I told myself, you are not coming back to Atlanta as the same person that you left. That partying, you're going to have tunnel vision. And look at me, y'all, Gigi brows.
Okay.
So you can do it.
Honestly.
And what's so funny is my friends that were around, I'm still cool with them to this day. And they be like, dang, it's like it happened overnight. I said, but y'all know it wasn't overnight because y'all been around me. But the only thing that I stopped doing was hanging out and just focused all my attention on my business.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that changed.
Honestly, like when I got that advice, I was like, that sounds strict.
Baby.
But when I thought it through, I was like, it makes sense because all of these people I look up to pretty much did that. Yeah. They sat down and had their tunnel vision.
Because your time is of the essence.
Yeah.
And you don't have as much time as you think that you do. So sacrificing a year or two for a long journey in a business, it's worth it.
It is.
Because I was the underdog, right? I always kind of compare myself to Nene a little bit when she came onto the Housewives. If you notice, everybody that was on there, they already had money. They already were married to an athlete or they had the big papa. They were already living. You know, they used to tease me. Do you remember they used to tease me?
Yeah, I do.
Like her clothes and different things like that. She's big dog.
No, she's
big dog.
You think of Housewives, you think of Nene Leakes.
Right?
That's
so
it.
It's like, think about it. Like I'm talking about, I'm trying to do makeup. I'm freelance and I'm everywhere. So people was looking at me like, okay, I'm driving my Toyota, but I'm on a grind, right? But people like, okay, I'm wearing my little wet seal outfit. You might have on your Louis Vuitton. I always stay to my lane. I never try to fit in or keep it with the Joneses. So whatever I had on, baby, I had on. If I had on my guest purse, I had on my guest purse, and you had on what you had on. Always confident because regardless of what I have on, I'm me.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So material stuff is nice, but you want to work hard because bags, shoes, clothes, that stuff ain't going nowhere. You can always get it, right? So just stay in your lane, stack your paper up. And I never would have thought that I'm where I am today because I just had tunnel vision. Like the money that I have in the bank, the investments, I'm setting myself up for retirement. It's just like, I'm so proud of myself because if you're talking to the little girl in St. Louis, please, I wouldn't have even thought it was a possibility.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And honestly, I think that is the note to leave off on. Like, I think that is the word, is to just stay in your lane and focus on your stuff. It's like everything will still be there, like you said.
Yeah.
The partying, the clothes, all of it, it'll be there.
How old are you, Liz?
I'm 26.
See, this is the age.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't focused at that age. No, for real. For real. Like, and that's what I say. I get so excited when I see the young girls going for their stuff because I started late. I didn't start my business, I think, until I was 34.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's...
Think about it.
Girl.
So I be like, oh, if I was 25 or 26, where I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I started late because I was procrastinating. I was afraid. I was scared. But I say, do it scared. Just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because if I would have started then, it's no telling where I would be now.
Yeah. That is it.
So you ahead of the game.
I love it. And I feel like that just inspires me so much. Yeah. I'm like, I need to listen to, like, y'all know better. Yeah. I can't be listening to my people. They like, no, girl. I'm like, no.
Like you're already mature.
Yeah.
Right? At that age, it's like I wanted to hang out. I wanted to be with the people. I wanted to have fun all the time. Mentally, I was not, and that's so funny. That's probably why God didn't have me do that then, because I wasn't ready. Yeah. Mentally, I still wanted to do things that didn't matter. Yeah. Right? So you're wise at your age. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank
so you got to go with that. Yeah.
Gigi.
Yeah.
Well, it was amazing having you.
I had a time.
This was such a great podcast. We could yap forever. I think we could yap forever. But if you want more of Gigi, where can they find you at, girl?
So you guys can find me at All Eyes, ALLEYEZ on Gigi, like Tupac, on TikTok and Instagram. And my website is ggbrows.com, like Gucci, just 2 G's. And I have products for the everyday woman. I have products for if you're an esthetician or cosmetology student. I have my book, Behind the Beauty, How to Set Up Your Business Back Office. I'm going to start my own community soon, to where I'm going to start doing a webinar to talk about each chapter in my book. And I also have online classes if you are a brow artist and you just want continuing education. And I do group classes and one-on-one classes.
Yes. Like I said, 8 jobs. You got a million things to do. It was incredible. We're gonna link everything in the bio, and you'll have access to all of those stuff in the school community as well. So y'all can follow Gigi, buy the products, do the things, buy the book. I'm buying the book today, so make sure y'all buy the book. Again, this was the Future Beauty Podcast. I'm Liz. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time.